allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. If you please remain standing, we'll have just a brief moment of silence. Thank you all very much. Thanks, Eric. I neglected to mention that this meeting is being recorded. It's also being live streamed and would be available on, I believe it's YouTube. Is that right? That's correct. Thank you, Joe. Vanessa, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Sinata?
Here.
Commissioner Vogler?
Here. So we do have a quorum. We always, during our meetings, have two opportunities for public comment, one in just a few moments and then one prior to adjournment of the meeting. If you wish to make a public comment, you're welcome to do so both times or one of the two times, or if you're just here to listen, that's equally fine. We do ask that your comments be related to county government matters, and also if you could try to contain your comments to approximately 5 minutes or so, we'd appreciate that. So before we get to public comments, we also set aside time for any of our row officers who might have reports, but none of our row officers are with us today. So that takes us to public comment. Let me open the floor to see if anybody has a public comment at this time. Hearing and seeing none, we'll keep moving. Chris, I assume you received the email with your packet?
Yes, I read through everything, Chairman.
Oh, great. And our thanks to Vanessa and Joe for putting this all together and for forwarding it to Commissioner Sinata. Next on the agenda, we have the warrant registers, also known as the check reconciliation registers, which are put together by the County Controller's Office and submitted to us for our review and acceptance. These particular documents are dated May 7, May 10, and May 14, a listing of all the checks that have been cut and the recipients that are listed on here as well by the Controller's Office. I've looked them over, but I want to give Mr. Sinata time in case he wishes to review them and then ask any questions that he might have.
Yes, I already reviewed them. Everything Vanessa sent, I had a chance to read them all, and I have no issues with them.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Would you then be willing to make a motion to accept these documents?
Yes, I make a motion to accept the warrant documents.
Thank you. I will second your motion, and I'll ask Vanessa to call the roll, please.
Commissioner Sinata?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next, we have the minutes of the May 7 Commissioners meeting. And again, Chris, if you've had time to look them over.
I had an opportunity to read the minutes, and they are fine, and I'm going to make a motion to accept the minutes.
I appreciate that. I will second your motion and then ask for a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Under written communications, we've had a couple of documents come in the last week and a half or so that we will enter into the record. The first is notification that's been given to the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection, their Bureau of Clean Water. This is a document, again, from Columbia Gas. It says here the gas company is proposing a major modification to permit number PAC 370067. The major modification proposes 400 linear feet of pipeline via open cut method. This is being referred to as the Savannah Road Pipeline Project in Shenango Township. The project area is 1.55 acres, and it involves an unnamed tributary to Big Run. This document has been actually submitted both to the Commissioner's Office and the Planning Office. The second document comes from Gateway Engineers based in Butler, Pennsylvania. And this is giving us, This is giving us notification that the township of Neshannock is applying for a Chapter 106 permit with the DEP as it pertains to their land use policy. And the project is known as the Kings Chapel Road Realignment Project. And that has also been submitted to the commissioners and the Planning Commission office. The third document is from Heidelberg Materials out of Connellsville, Pennsylvania. And we'll have to tell them how to spell the word Lawrence, won't we? They misspelled our county name, but that's okay. This is a blast notification notice stating that Heidelberg Materials proposes to conduct surface blasting in compliance with all applicable state and federal laws. The blasting will occur on the McQuiston large non-coal surface mine in the townships of Mahoning and North Beaver, west of the intersection of Hoffmaster Road and Smalls Ferry Road. And it spells out the blasting schedule. Those are the three documents that we've received. And Chris, may I ask you to make a motion to accept and file these documents?
Yes, I make a motion to accept and file the three documents. I had an opportunity to read them.
Thank you, sir. I will second your motion. And Chris, did you have any concerns about any of them?
No, it was all straightforward.
Okay, thank you, sir. We have a motion on the floor. It's been seconded. Could Vanessa, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you so much. Under reports, commissioner reports, myself and Commissioner Sanada have an opportunity to give updates. I really don't have too much to note other than what we've already spoken about so far. Once again, reminding everyone, the board will not be meeting next Tuesday, but we will reconvene a week from Tuesday, the day after Memorial Day. And note that our good friend Commissioner Kennedy is recovering from surgery right now. We want you to keep Dan and his family in your thoughts and prayers. We wish him all the best. That's all I have today, and I'll see if Mr. Sanada has anything to report.
No, I just want to echo what you said. We wish Dan the very best and for full recovery. Look forward to seeing him soon.
Thank you, Chris, very much. I maybe jumped too far, and under staff reports, we do have, of course, our county administrator, Mr. Benasco. Our solicitor is with us today, Attorney Medora, and our deputy chief clerk and county administrator, Vanessa Bayless. Anything from the three of you that you might have?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Under new business, Mr. Grippo is here today. Mike, of course, is with the Children and Youth Services Office, and we appreciate your joining us. You have, I believe, two proposals, which I'm assuming are contracts you'd like for us to consider.
Yeah.
You've given us the supporting documentation, but I'll turn it over to you, and let's start with Hoffman Homes out in Littlestown, Pennsylvania.
Okay, so Hoffman Homes, if you see on the front page here, and 1B, we've never used them. We always try to have backup in case we're stuck with the child, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, we have to place them. So if you flip to the next page, it kind of gives you the rates. Again, they're asking for this increase on the next to last, but we've never used them. Just a provider that we always want to make sure that, you know, in case we need to use them in an emergency situation.
Kind of like a good insurance policy.
Good insurance policy.
Yes, sir. And I've actually been to Littlestown. It's not far from Gettysburg, out in Adams County.
Right.
So this is a renewal.
This is a renewal
Okay,
and asking to renew their agreement.
okay. Vanessa, what number would we assign this?
96.
Thank you. Mike, I don't have any questions, but let me see if Commissioner Sanada has any.
No, I don't have any either.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Chris,
It's not straightforward, so no.
no, I appreciate that. And given that, would you be willing to make a motion for Resolution 96? We'll try again. Chris, are you able to make a motion for Resolution 96?
Yeah, I make a motion, we accept the resolution.
Okay, thank you, Chris, and I will second your motion. And if there are no other concerns, we can have Vanessa call the roll, please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes,
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you so much. And then Mr. Grippo has a second proposal, Resolution 97, the Three Rivers Adoption Council, track services for families based in Pittsburgh, Allegheny County. Mike, you want to give us some details,
Yeah.
please?
Again, it's a renewal. The rate ranges from 80.62 to 93.30, depending on what facility. But if you go back to the last page and you look at the asking price, the next to last column, this is what they were asking for, 32%, 31, 29, 24%. But what we got them down was 7%. So we reduced the price down from 99 down to 80, 101 down to 82, 103. So that's part of the thing that the director and I, work on to try to negotiate the price down when we look back at the history. So we reduced it down for the county. But if you look at the front page, we do have in 22, 23, we had 4 children. 23, 24, we have 2, and currently we have 2 in that facility.
Mike, thank you for that information. I always say next time I go buy a car, I'm going to take Mike with me. Commissioner Sanada, do you have any questions for Mr. Grippo?
no, we just appreciate your negotiating skills, Mr. Grippo. We appreciate that on behalf of the county.
We try to do the best we can.
Well, thank you, Chris. Chris, are you in a position you would wish to make a motion for this resolution?
I make a motion, we accept the resolution.
Thank you, sir. I will second your motion. And if there are no other comments or questions, could Vanessa call the roll, please?
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes,
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Mike, I think we say it, but maybe not often enough. These documents are very helpful as supporting material to what you're presenting to us.
And it helps me too.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Good. Well, we appreciate you take the time to put it together. So,
Okay.
thank you for joining us. As we always say, you're welcome to stick around, but if you do have to head back, we
Yeah.
understand.
I got a lot more contracts to work on.
Okay. Thank you, Mike.
Yes, thanks.
Hope you have a nice weekend.
You too.
Take care. Proposed Resolution 98. This falls under the jurisdiction of our public defender, Attorney Larry Keith. Counselor, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, thank you.
If you want to have a seat, please. We appreciate knowing how busy you are. We appreciate the time to join us today.
Thank you for having me.
Certainly. And
Sorry, I just noticed a mistake. On the bottom, I have March instead of May, so I'll make that change.
okay, now
I made a change on my own.
we got it. Okay, thank
Simple
you.
change.
Well, they both begin with M. And A for that matter. So thank you. Larry, we appreciate your taking the time to be with us today. And you had made us aware of an opportunity through the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania that resulted, I believe, from legislation that is allowing all counties in the Commonwealth, correct me if I'm wrong, all counties in the Commonwealth can apply for this grant through the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency. And would you be kind enough to give us a little bit of background on what this is about and I believe you're asking us to give approval for you to move forward with the application, but I'll turn it over to you, and if you could fill us in, please.
I think you touched on it, Commissioner Gilbert. The Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency is administering a grant program for the state of Pennsylvania to support indigent defense in the Commonwealth. Every county is eligible, and every county has been allocated a certain amount up to what they're allowed to apply for. Lawrence County has been allocated $93,417 that they're eligible to get, we're eligible to get. And what I'm asking for today is that through the commissioners, we apply for this grant. And like I said, it is for the purpose of improving the capacity and effectiveness of indigent defense services in our county. And one of the major efforts that this money is to be earmarked for is for the recruitment and retention of staff, among other things. I have completed the application. If you allow us to go forward and get it, I do believe that we will be able to get that $93,000 and utilize it.
Well, thank you very much, and I appreciate the work that you've put into this. Before I turn it over to Commissioner Sanada, and again, I'm very glad you're here today, Counselor. I'm referencing our solicitor, Mr. Medor. I believe the application is going to require signatures.
Yes.
And the nice thing is, assuming Mr. Sanada votes yes, we'll be able to pass this. You've been able to work out a means by which we can secure his signature electronically, is that true?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll be able to move forward with the application.
Yes.
Based upon that. Okay, wonderful. Commissioner Sanada, I will turn it over to you to see if you have questions for Attorney Keith.
No, Attorney Keith, thank you for your efforts here. I think these dollars can go well to help your office. I know that you have a good staff there, and we want to get this thing done and over with. So thank you for all your efforts on this.
Thank you, Commissioner.
No, very good. And I know the deadline is next week. Is that correct? You have to have this in by some day next week?
The 23rd.
23rd. Okay, so if we act on it, we approve it this morning, and then manage to get the appropriate signatures, then I think you can.
Yeah, I will sign it as soon as Jason sends me the information. So we want to get this thing moving.
That's great. Well, and again, Jason, thank you very much for your help on this. This is proposed resolution 98. Once the grant is approved, assuming the grant is approved, then we'll have to have some discussion with you as to how you would like to propose utilization of these dollars. And I know you have some guidelines that the state has set forth allowing you to do that. And again, you and all of your fellow public defenders from throughout the Commonwealth. This is just not specific to Lawrence County. So we'll have that conversation at the appropriate time. Mr. Sanada, would you be willing to make a motion for Resolution 98?
Yes, I move we approve Resolution 98.
And I will second your motion. And if there is anything else, Larry, have we overlooked anything?
I don't think so. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Counselor, it's always nice to see you. You are welcome to stay, but I know you're a busy man, and if you have to move along, we understand.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Thanks, Larry. Hope you have a nice weekend. From the planning office, Rebecca's with us. Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Good to see you. You have two resolutions, and then I think we also have a proposed budget amendment that we'll talk about. But let's jump into the first proposed resolution, number 99. And it looks as though what the planning office would like for us to consider is submitting an application for a grant. Grant is specifically known as the Greenways, Trails, and Recreational Program Grant through the Commonwealth Finance Authority. We've identified some improvements we'd like to make at the Henry Bezicki Park, which is located in Wayne Township. It's a county-owned park. It's got playground equipment and a ball field and a picnic shelter, as I recall. And, but I'm gonna turn it over to you, Rebecca, if you'd be kind enough to give us any further background on this, please.
We've touched most of it, but, there's been a few concerned citizens that, have called the county in safety features as to the equipment. The equipment is very old. And I think we've all had a conversation as to something needs to happen, whether it was removal of the equipment or replacement. So we've met down there at least once. Commissioner Kennedy was also there with us, Dan. So we look to move forward and applying for a substantial grant of $250,000 to help us with the replacement. So, and until then, I don't know really what the actual action is, if we're gonna leave it as it is for now, because this won't take place until possibly next year. So, but that's what we're here for. Get the resolution. I believe the deadline is May 31st, so we've got to get this moving.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but I believe you've given us some guidance as to what we need
I
to
made
do
some recommendations regarding the existing playground.
in terms of the safety of it or lack thereof.
Yes.
Okay, and I think it behooves us to follow the commissioner or the solicitor's advice.
Yes.
I learned that a long time ago. If the solicitor gives you solid advice, you better follow it. But and you did say May 31st, and I'm thinking signatures. That Mr. Sonata will be back that week. So if he's here on the 28th or 29th, that gives you time,
I
doesn't it?
believe so.
Okay.
Yes.
Very
We
good.
just had this on for, last week, so.
Right.
So, yeah.
Actually, Dan, it only requires your signature.
Oh, is that right? Just needs the one signature? Okay, that's good. Well, then we can move even faster then, I guess. Well, assuming we approve Resolution 99. Let me see if Commissioner Sonata has questions for Rebecca.
No, Rebecca, I'm aware of this project as well. We do appreciate your efforts on it, and we want to get this thing moving, and especially for safety reasons, we want to make sure Wayne Township's taken care of. So I'm going to make a motion that we approve this.
Chris, thank you, and I will second your motion. Rebecca, anything else you'd like to add? Okay, thank you. We'll do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. The next resolution, number 100, involves another county-owned park, the Quaker Falls Recreation Area, which is out in Mahoning Township. And you've got here before us some change orders. Would you mind filling us in on what you'd like us to consider, please?
Sure. A few weeks ago, we had change order number 1, which allowed us to build stairs safely down to the bottom of the falls. And in conversation with our project manager, they were wanting to do like a landing or a platform. So instead of the stairs just dying, there was gonna be a viewing area. So we met out there, because I had never been to the bottom of the falls. And so we locked it out, the whole office and the whole planning office, the contractor, and also our engineers. So they were able to, come and, to see what was down there, as far as, is it doable? So they come back with the change order of this amount. I believe it's indicated on there. So there, like I said at the beginning, there was a cost savings. So the change order for this is $29,700 for the viewing platform that will have, fencing around the bottom. So, and just to enhance the safety feature. Again.
Well, no, this is very helpful. I'm glad you pointed out and reminded us of the fact, first of all, we're utilizing grant dollars, is that correct? Not general fund dollars.
Exactly.
When we initially undertook the project, as you said, it actually came in under budget, which allowed us some of these extra dollars or leftover dollars or unspent dollars, however you want to characterize it, to add a few of these enhancements. And I'm real pleased to hear that. I think it's great. And but let me then see if Commissioner Sanada has any questions.
No, I just think it's important. I know we had this discussion at the prior commissioners meeting, and safety enhancements are always good, and I'm glad that we have the revenue from this grant to be able to do it. So I have no other questions, and I'll make a motion to accept it.
Thank you, Chris. I will second your motion, but before we vote, Rebecca, anything else you want us to know about this?
No.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion on the floor. It's been seconded for proposed resolution 100. Vanessa, could you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Proposed resolution 101 is a budget amendment, relatively minor, but it involves the community development block grant revenue account. It looks as though we are under the revenue account line item, we are decreasing that line item by $4,198.52. We are increasing the line item known as CDBG Elwood City Borough Administrative Fund Expense by $2,455.46. We are also increasing the CDBG Union Township Admin Fund Expense account by $1,743.06. Rebecca, anything you need to add to this?
No, it was just, this was not accounted for in the 2024. And until we come to zero things out, do we find the problem? So that's what it's for.
Understood. Joe, you're comfortable?
Absolutely.
You're obviously well aware of it.
Yes.
No concerns on your part?
Not at all.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Sanada, questions for Rebecca or Joe?
No.
Okay, would you care to make a motion for proposed resolution 101?
I move we accept proposed resolution 101.
I thank you. I will second your motion and we'll ask for a roll call.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Rebecca, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you
And
guys.
thanks for all your work. As we've said to everybody, you're welcome to stay, but if you have to head back, we certainly say, don't forget your glasses and your
Yeah,
phone.
I see that. Thanks,
care.
guys. Uh-huh.
Proposed resolution 102 is a transfer request from the voter's office. The total amount is $600. All of it is coming from the commissioner's contingency. $300 is going into the voter line item of land and building, and $300 is going into voters for their line item of maintenance and repairs. Joe, anything else on this one?
No, just a shortfall that didn't cover.
Okay, thank you. This is resolution 102. Commissioner Sanada, do you have questions about it?
No, it's straightforward, and I make a motion we accept resolution 102.
Chris, thank you, and I'll second your motion and request a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes,
motion carries.
thanks, Vanessa. Chris, I've got some transfers. I'm gonna start walking through them. Please stop me if you have any questions. Well, obviously, when we get to the end, we'll open it up, but as we go through and
Sure.
something catches your attention, just stop me, please.
Sure.
Thank you. Also, for the voter's office, we're looking at a request, and these are some transfers to clear up the final matters involving the 2024 primary election. The total amount of the transfer request is $11,500. It is all coming from the voter's office line item, payment of staff / mail canvas, if I'm reading this correctly. And it's being distributed in this manner. $3,500 is going into the line item of payment of staff / polling places. $3,000 is going to the FICA expense line item, and $5,000 is going to the line item of printing for ballots. Also for voters, under their, this falls under their capital expenditures. We're taking, the purpose of the transfer is for the payment for the financing of election machines and software licenses. From the contingency, $102,500 is going into the major equipment line item. And also from contingency, $78,800 is going into software. Joe, is this, to your knowledge, is this the election grant money, or is this general fund money, to your, if you know?
I believe it's general fund dollars that we put into the back end of the budget.
Okay, that's fine. And again, this is for some of the machines that they've had to upgrade and or purchase, right?
Yes.
Okay, as well as the licenses
Yeah.
that go along with it. The next request comes from the district attorney's office. They are requesting a $2,000 transfer from their line item of staples to that of materials and supplies. Under the ARPA funds, you might recall at the last meeting, the commissioners distributed the remaining restricted dollars from the ARPA funds that we'd received from the federal government. And in order for this to be finalized, we are transferring the money into the appropriate line item so that the expenditures can now move forward. So the total amount of this transfer is $1,406,876. Of that, $1,192,711 is going into the water and sewer line item for ARPA expenditures. And $214,165 is going into the line item of assistance for nonprofits, again, relating to ARPA. Those are the transfers that have been requested of us. Commissioner Sanada, do you have concerns or questions about any of them?
No, I mean, we dealt with this 10 days ago, and we need to get this money moved over so we can do what we have to do with it. So I have no other concerns.
Okay, thank you. Would you then be willing to make a motion to approve the transfer requests that we've entered into the record?
Yes, I move we approve all the transfer requests.
Thank you very much, and I will second your motion. And I'll ask Vanessa to call the roll, please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Under announcements, as we noted, there will not be a commissioners meeting next Tuesday. We will reconvene on Tuesday, May 28th at 10 a.m. in this room. It's open to the public. I want to announce the first of two announcements. We're governed by an ordinance as it relates to the authorities for which we have the responsibility of making appointments. There will be an upcoming opening on the Lawrence County Airport Authority, and I will announce that opening today, and I will announce that opening on the 28th. The current gentleman who holds that position is Mr. Joseph Hake. Did I get that right, Vanessa? Mr. Hake?
Yes.
And he has submitted a letter requesting reappointment. But again, this ordinance obligates us to make this announcement at two different meetings. And anyone who is interested in serving on the airport authority can also submit a letter of interest. We do note that the ordinance stipulates that the new applicants must be subject to a criminal background check. And but as I note, we'll repeat this announcement the day after Memorial Day, and then hopefully in early June we can take a vote, depending upon who all has applied. But again, note that the current incumbent has expressed an interest in being reappointed. The courthouse will be closed in observance of Memorial Day on May 27, which is a Monday. We will be closed that day. For public comments, let me note for the record that other than the folks who are conducting the meeting and participating in the meeting, there are no other visitors in the room. But I will ask for public comment if anybody would have any. Hearing none. Before we close, Commissioner Sanada, any closing comments?
No, I look forward to being there in person on the 28th, and I think, we got the county moving today, so I appreciate, Solicitor Madore and Administrator, Vanessa's efforts, and Vanessa for getting all that information to me. I was able to read it thoroughly yesterday, and, it was very helpful, so I thank them for their efforts, and, we were able to do something today, I think that's important for the county, and we got things moving, so I wish Commissioner Kennedy the very best as he recovers.
Certainly agree with that. And thank you for taking the time from your time off to spend with us these last 40 minutes. And we wish you a very relaxing balance of your time off. And we look forward to seeing you when you return, Chris.
No problem, and if you need anything, just send it to me and we'll take care of it, so.
Greatly appreciated. Before we adjourn, Vanessa, Counselor, Mr. Vanasco, anything we've overlooked? Okay, thank you. Thanks for all your help in putting this together, and especially for connecting us with Commissioner Sanada. Mr. Sanada, may I have an adjournment motion, please?
I move we adjourn the meeting.
I will second your motion. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye, opposed, the same
Aye.
sign. The motion carries, and this meeting is adjourned. Thanks, Chris. Take care.
See you soon.
Okay.
Have a good dinner tonight, Chris.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, I'll talk to you.
Mr. Vanasco's gonna turn off the computer.